In this video, we're talking showers, indoor showers. This is a Sprinter 170, and in it, we're doing an indoor shower. We've built about 20 vans so far, and so far, up until this van, we'd only done 2 with indoor showers, and both of those were Sprinter 144. This is a 170, and so there's a lot more room. And so this customer's gonna be living full time in the van. They absolutely needed a shower inside. So we're doing a full wet room. Everything's waterproof. In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how we make sure that the structure is solid, that everything's square and plumb, that it's completely waterproof, and looks beautiful. So if you're building a van and you're considering building a shower, or even if you're going to be using a builder and you just want to make sure that they build the shower the right way and be able to ask the right questions, then this video is definitely for you. Now our first shower that we did entirely out of wood to build the frame of the shower. Our second one, we used metal studs, and in this one we've used extruded aluminum. And we've kind of upped our game each time. And so in this video, I'm going to explain to you the changes that we've made. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what materials we used, why we used them, and how we put this all together. So let's get into it. So another change that we made to these showers, we used a stainless steel shower pan. So in our first 2 showers that we did, we used an acrylic shower pan made by Lippert. And I don't recommend that. Both of those pans develop cracks in them over time that we ended up having to repair. It's not ideal, and it doesn't look pretty once you have to fix a crack. And so we've gone with a stainless steel shower pan in this van, and that's what we'll be using exclusively going forward. And we have links to the shower pan that we used, as well as all the other products. So what we did with this shower pan is we cut out the floor and the subfloor so that we could set this down, and then we used marine adhesive along the bottom of the van, and we adhered it to the floor of the van, and then in the flange, we put some screws to screw it down into the wood. So this shower pan is set permanently into the floor of the van. And then for the framing of this van, like I said, we used extruded aluminum. What we used is the 10 series, but it's 2 inches wide. So it's twice as wide as the normal 10 series. And that just gave us the space to build like a threshold here and on the walls to have a space. Basically, you need a hollow space inside to run. We'll have a switch for the light, so we'll have some wires running through this side. We have our plumbing running on this side, so you need some kind of a gap in the wall to be able to put those things. So that wider, there's the 2-inch, and then there's the 2-inch here on its side. That gives us a 2-inch gap between the exterior out here and the panels on the inside. Okay, and that gap provides us enough space to run the plumbing with the shower mixer and then up to the nozzle up here. So we'll have a handheld wand that they can take off. We like to use a handheld shower head that has an on and off switch to conserve water, and there's a link to that in our Google Doc. So we built this entire frame outside of the van, made sure everything was perfectly square and plumb, and then we just moved it into the van, bolted it to the floor and to the walls and to the ceiling. I really like being able to build things outside of the van, especially when there's more than one person working on a van, like in our shop. It's nice to be able to do things outside and then just move it in. That's one of the nice things about using the extruded aluminum. Now, for the interior of the shower, we used a product called Curdy Board, made by a company called Schluter. And Schluter makes shower tiling products, and they have super high quality. We did a huge wet room in our home that we remodeled a few years back. It has a shower and a tub all inside of it. And we used a lot of Schluter products on that, and I kind of fell in love with them because of the quality. They are a little bit more expensive, but in a small space like a van, it's really not going to add that much money overall. And the ease of use and the quality of the product makes it well worth it. So for this van, we used 2 4x8 sheets, the 1 sheet for the 2 sides, and then 1 sheet for the back piece. Okay, best to put the side pieces in first, I believe, and then you can cut the back piece to just fit exactly and slide it in. And this is where it's super important to make sure everything's square, and you can check to make sure everything's square, because if you have to taper these cuts at all on this back piece, then you know that it's not square. Ours is 32 inches at the top the middle, the bottom, so we know that these two walls are perfectly plumb and square. Now you can see along the edges, wherever there's a seam, we've used this tape, and this is called Curdy tape. And they make a product, an adhesive specifically for waterproofing, and we just ran a bead down both sides and then adhered the tape into those seams. So you can see in all these seams we have it. There's a seam right here that we have it. What we do is we do one piece that comes up about 33 inches and ends right where the van has an angle. So the bottom piece stops right there, and then we do a second piece that goes from there all the way to the top of the shower. And that piece is flat and straight. We don't curve it, and we don't do an angle. The van does angle in about 5 degrees right here, but we just place this back piece so that it's straight the whole way. And what that will do is make your tiling or whatever material you're using on your walls a lot easier to install, because you don't have a bunch of curves on these pieces that you have to scribe. Basically, we're straight cuts all the way up to here, and then up here we'll just have a slight angle, but it'll be the same angle the whole way up. So that's how we do it. You really don't lose much space, you know, maybe an inch right in here, but really not much. And then we're using it on the ceiling as well. So you can see here's the Schluter Curdy board up on the ceiling. And we attached this Curdy board. They do have screws. Most of those are covered by this tile down here, but they have some special screw attachments that you can put in to screw this in. So what we did is we put marine adhesive all along the back. We put it in, and then we use the screws in just a few spots just to hold these all in place until the marine adhesive cured. Now you can see down here the tile, and I think this is a beautiful tile. We have links to this tile in our Google Doc. In the description, there's a link to a Google Doc that we've created that has all of the products that we use in our van builds. And so if you'd like to check that out, just click the link in the description. Free access to that Google Doc. And we found that it really has helped a lot of people out in building their own vans. Now, these tiles are not porcelain or ceramic tile. They are I think some kind of a vinyl or plastic, but they have a really nice feel to them. This one is kind of a soapstone with a matte finish on it. So here's the way we do it. You can see along the edges, they have 3 different types of edging material. This one is called their J trim, and they have one for the inside seams and one for exterior seams. We are not using that in the interior because you can see we've got our seams really tight here, and all we'll do is we'll just put this in and caulk along the inside edge. But you can see that you just can't, you know, the seam is nice and clean, and so we don't need that interior. But over here, we do want to be able to cover up the edge. And so what we did is we first glued down the J trim to the edge of the van, and then we just slide the piece in, and then it fits into there, and then it covers that up nicely and makes a nice finish to the edge of it. So that's the only trim we're using, is the J trim on both sides, just here at the front of the shower. So you can see here, this is going to be the ceiling piece. Once I end up with my cutoffs and I have a small piece to go here, I'll put that here. So this will fit right into the ceiling. Here will be a light. Here's a hole for a puck light. We'll glue this up to the ceiling. All of these tiles are glued in with an adhesive, and the manufacturer recommends that you use this Loctite Power Grab Ultimate. So that's what we're using to adhere these tiles to the walls. Here's a complete sheet of it. You can see it's pretty large. It's about 25 inches wide by 15 inches tall. And what's really nice about these is they have, I don't know if you can see this, they have a tongue and groove all the way around the edges. It's sort of like flooring, but it's a little bit more watertight. Now, if they do, this is made to go in wet locations like showers. It is grout-free, but they do recommend that you put a bead of silicone along these joints before you attach the next one. So if I was attaching a piece here, you can see this side has the groove, this side has the tongue, and these would just go together, push in, and you can see nice tight joint, no grout needed, really easy to install. I actually have been surprised how easy it's been to install this wall tile. So what we'll do to finish out the 80/20 here is we'll take PVC board and we'll actually attach it. We'll cut it to the 2-inch width of this, and then we will attach it all the way around to make the frame of the door. So across the sides, the top, and even across the bottom to make the threshold. Okay, and that's all PVC, waterproof. It'll just be attached with marine adhesive. Then after we get that PVC in, we'll put a face out of plywood on the front of this entire thing. So it'll look just like this, the white, painted white. So we'll have a white face around the whole thing. You won't see any of that extruded aluminum. And then we will put a Nautilus door. And the Nautilus doors are awesome. They're self-cleaning. They just kind of extend in and out, and they kind of squeegee off the water as you roll them back in. They're lightweight and a really nice way to enclose a shower. So if you want to see how this shower turns out, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be doing a complete van tour video on this van in a few weeks when we're finished with it. And we've got tons of videos on the channel about van life, van building tips and tricks, product reviews, tool reviews, and more. So if you'd like to see more videos like this, then you can click or tap the screen. And we'll see you in the next video. Jeff with Thrive Vans. Thrive on. See ya.